He's something.
PCRs, good afternoon. You'll never guess where we are. We're in the humble home of Sexy Legs, Mike Trabert. Show us the legs.
They're not so good right now.
And over here is his better half, Denny.
Oh yes, hello.
And so we thought it would only be appropriate that we come out and get the real story, because I've been getting kind of razzed this week that the Tribune scooped me. So in the spirit of Barbara Walters, we're going to ask Sexy Legs a couple questions.
Had it written down.
And yes, I've come prepared. Over here is Prez Hell. He's our new KOP, King of Pitchers, as some of you might know. But Mr. Trabert,
yes, sir.
First of all, we want you to know how happy we are that you're with us.
Thank you.
And that you've returned home safe and sound. And I know a lot of things have gone through your mind, but one of the questions that people have wanted to ask, when this helicopter went down, I know there was a lot of first things that went through your mind. Did you ever think that, oh no, I'm not going to be able to do loaded jaw with the PCRs again this year?
That was my first thought. Actually, that was my first thought right in my mind. It actually made me think of my friend Bill Wee. His mom got in a really bad car accident, and the car rolled and landed on top of her, and I was asking her that same question, what she thought, and she said the first thing she did was feel if there was blood on her face, and there was, and then the next thought was who she could get to sub for her on her league match. So I was the same way. I first wanted to make sure all my body parts were together, which they weren't, right? And then I was thinking I can't do loaded jaw with the PCRs, and not only that, I'm not going to be able to make the next Saturday ride. I mean, that was, yeah.
That's probably what I would have thought.
That's exactly what I thought.
Okay. Now, here's a question for Denny. We're going over to Denny. Denny?
Okay, yes.
Now that Mike's in the neck brace, have you ever wanted to take the neck brace off and strangle him and say, Mike, it's time to quit going on these exotic helicopter skiing trips?
I wanted to do that while he was gone. I kept thinking, Russia, really? Why Russia? I mean, when we were trying to get visas for everybody, I thought we had a great season. Why not Alta? Why not Solitude?
Yeah.
Why Russia, of all places? So, yes, I have wanted to strangle him a few times.
Okay, well, now's probably a good time because he's not doing too well.
Fight back.
I've skied Solitude and Alta a bunch, never skied Russia.
Okay, the second question we'd like to find out, because none of this has been in the newspaper.
Making my ribs hurt.
How was the skiing?
Yeah, the skiing, and honestly, the skiing was probably the best I've had. It was unbelievable terrain. I described it, it's a lot like Alaska, just really wide open, no trees, trees are in the valley floor. Everything else is just massive, open, long, in the snow, I called it Russian velvet. It was unbelievable.
So you got 3 days of skiing.
Yep, 3 days.
And then the helicopter went down.
Yeah, on the third day, yep.
So what was the first thing that went through your mind?
Well,
in all seriousness.
No, well, the first thing was that you're thinking it's going to be over, I mean, basically you're worried, and then it comes to a halt, and then you realize everything kind of went black for a minute, and then I knew my neck was hurt just because it was bad, it hurt. And then you're just hoping, you get out and just hoping everybody else is okay. But everybody was kind of in a big pile, at the bottom of the helicopter with skis and everything on top of them, poles, and skis were going across people's faces and boots in people's faces. Everybody's sort of bent and twisted.
Yeah, we're glad that it didn't affect the Sexy Legs because that's going to be key for your comeback.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're going to have to give me about an hour head start.
We're all hoping that maybe it'll slow you down so we can kind of stay up with you.
No.
How's your Russian? You stayed there for what, 8 days?
Yeah, not good. No, spasiba.
Okay.
Spasiba?
I'm not
sure about that. That means thank you. Spasiba.
Was it kind of a situation where you're like, what am I doing over here? I guess.
The funny thing is the nurse, they would just ramble on. They would look at you in the eye and talk to you full out Russian like you're going to answer them. I just stare at them like, they just act like they were asking me questions, a lot. And I'm like, I just look, smile. I didn't know what to say.
What an amazing story.
Luckily we had interpreters.
Okay, we're going to go back to Denny. Denny, the question that we all want to ask
Yes.
Is he going to be allowed to do this again?
He doesn't want to do heli skiing again,
Okay.
which makes me feel better. He doesn't ever want to go to Russia, right?
Right, that's right.
Okay, that's out of the question.
Okay, this is on
But
video, so
He's still going to be doing the crazy, skinning and all of that kind of stuff. But no helicopters, no Russia. That's out of the question. So,
any questions you got for the young man here?
Well, for you, how come you had to write down just 3 questions?
Because that's as far as I could remember. No, I got a couple more here, but we're kind of running out of time. And
Look here real quick, President Hale brought me this great book to read right here,
Uh-huh.
River of Doubt. I'm excited to read it. Some reading material. We always talk about good stuff, so I'll be looking forward to it. I'll give you a book review
I'd like
on
one.
that. Okay, yep. I'll give you a book review.
I've read it.
On-
I read it.
okay, so this is the last question, and there's a lot of questions that you're going to have to answer as you come back and ride with the PCRs again. But what did you learn from all this?
Serious?
Uh-huh.
Well, to be honest with you, I mean, just the outpouring of love and everything was unbelievable. So just, I think Denny mentioned it, we talked about it, just the belief in humanity and people's goodness, I mean, you're bombarded all the time with all the negative things and people doing crazy bad things. And, you just see people, just what they did for me, people that don't even know me. It just gives you a lot of faith in humankind, that's a big thing. Makes you want to give back,
Is that true even of the
Yeah.
Russians? Did you feel like the Russians were helping you out and got you out in the...
Yeah, I felt like they were trying to do that, the nurses were interesting. They were kind of funny. But you felt like the group I was with, they were trying to help get us out, and it was just a big visa issue mostly. But so yeah, it was.
You're loved by many. Denny, is there anything you learned from this?
I don't know. I don't know how to pin this guy down. I'm hoping this might slow him down a little bit so I can keep up with him. Because I haven't kept up with him for years.
Well, that's what's kind of unique about him. He lives life large.
He does. He does. So I'm hoping that he'll live at medium now.
Medium. I'm trying to keep up with you guys. With you. Big
Well, I've learned one thing from this. As far as the PCRs are concerned, it's the great athletes that usually have the challenges. Mary Glauser went down, broke a collarbone. Craig Brunner
Yeah.
went down,
Yeah.
had a lot of injuries, and they're both back. You've gone down, and it looks like you're going to come back. So I've
Wait a
decided,
minute, what about me, Scott? I've gone down 3 times.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. And I've seen the boulder too.
I'm just going to ride in the back of the group
No
and,
chance.
and hope that
No chance.
nothing happens. But we want you to know how much you guys are loved.
You're still
And-
going to be plotting on the sprints. I
Yes,
know you're
uh-huh.
plotting.
And
on
we're wishing you a speedy recovery,
Thank you.
and we're hoping to ride with you again soon. So
Thank you. I love the PCRs. You guys are the best.
our love goes out to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to all the PCRs.
Okay.
And their wives that support the craziness.
Yeah, it's fun. We're kind of like
Yeah.
a bunch of little kids.
Yeah, the wives are very patient with all of you.
All right. On that note, we're going to say goodbye.
Okay.